And for the last 50 years, Amnesty International Ghana has been campaigning for dignity, freedom, and justice for all in Ghana. Amnesty International Ghana's vision is to ensure that the fundamental human rights and freedoms of all persons are protected, promoted, and fulfilled in line with national, regional, and international human rights standards. AIG uses research, analysis, petitions, letters, and input to policies that spur action and spark change to make a difference for millions living in Ghana.
Amnesty was first held in Ghana in 1971 through one Mr. Geshin Gokunu, who was international officer in charge of Africa session. I met the late Dr. I.S. Epson, who was a lawyer, and sold the idea to him. So he also contacted Bishop Bauer and his colleagues. And some of these notable lawyers were Osei Nyami, Nana Osapo Boabing, Banamang, and then one Alex Asantitano. And Dr. Epson became the secretary for them, while Bishop Bauer was the chairperson. So this is how the whole thing started in Accra. Because of their professional work, they didn't have a particular person to spread to the other areas. So Pongo, who was a head teacher, and then one Tennyson, also a teacher, also embraced it and getting people at areas to form pre-group. So through this, it spread gradually to the other regions.
So we moved from Koforidua to Accra in the year 1996 with one staff, Juliet Kangwaja. We started recruiting more staff. At a point, the old office couldn't accommodate the staff anymore. So we moved to a nearby facility. And then the space also became an issue because we are increasing in numbers and our staff strength is also increasing. So we relocated to our current location.
Today, Amnesty International Ghana has over 6,000 members and 594 groups across the country.
I joined Amnesty when the regional director, the late Daniel Damali, visited Sumu. And I liked the movement because of my Wolu background. I saw Amnesty with that prime principle of saving human life, that no government or no other human being or any authority has the right over another fellow human being.
Advocacy is a powerful tool that we can use to change our society for the better, especially if we all join in using it. It is a tool that gets stronger only when we all hold it.
As we say, the youth are the people of today and of tomorrow. And the Convention on the Rights of the Child shows that no matter who you are, at what level of your growth and development, you have human rights and you need to contribute to its promotion. The youth are those that if the state doesn't fulfill its obligations under the economic, cultural, and social rights, will suffer today and suffer the consequences tomorrow. So for the youth, it is something that should be not just an obligation, but a mission to promote human rights. We live in a society where people infantilize the youth. They suggest that you are young and therefore you do not have brain to contribute effectively to decision making or to make choices for yourself. So there is an undermining of youth, despite the fact that in countries such as Ghana, we have national youth policy, national youth authority, and all those kind of things.
Before joining Amnesty, I didn't know how to write and communicate, but as a youth leader, you get the opportunity to work on various projects that expose you to writing, participating in several events where you'd have to present and then build your public speaking skills. So it has been insightful for me, and then I get the opportunity to motivate other youth leaders as well, particularly on my campus.
In every ecosystem of change, women have played a vital role. Our very societies are built on the backs and by the hands of women. Women are the crowns of strategy and the spine of execution. Women are vital to every fight.
Amnesty International, I go for how far we have come. It has never been easy. Since 1997 to date, there have been a lot of challenges, but Amnesty has been able to stand the storms. I have participated a lot in almost every program and activity. And the work of Amnesty International Stop Violence Against Women was my number one interest too. And another thing that interests me most is bringing Amnesty to the doorstep of my community. As an assembly member, I had the opportunity and the influence, and it make it easier for me educating them on human rights.
So in terms of numbers, we've grown. We have more than 6,000 members. And their involvement in our activities is why. What prevents us to taking everybody on board is finances. Activity-wise, now we can beat our chest to say we've been able to get to the president. We've been able to get to the Speaker of Parliament, and that alone impacts on our activities. When we're under the Partnership for Growth, we're not having it easy. Even decision making wasn't in our hands. We were directed even to buy a stationery. The approval used to come from the UK or from our line managers. Before you move, before you speak, you have to take permission. And if you are in that position, it's difficult to even think for yourself. But then it was a necessity, because if we hadn't gone for Partnership for Growth, the session wouldn't have been here today.
For 50 years, Amnesty International Ghana has been at the forefront of the fight for human rights, giving back the dignity and humanity of everyday Ghanaians and creating a possibility for everybody to live their best possible lives. But the work is far from done.
The current state of human rights situation in Ghana, I would say we've come a long way. It is getting progressively better, but once in a while, other serious issues comes across to disturb the calm waters, and we still have a long way to go. Though we are making every effort to educate, you still see a lot of atrocities going on within the country. The security agencies who are supposed to protect human rights are also involved in the abuses, so that makes it difficult. And if you look at the citizenry, the issue of lynching is still going on, and thus narrow into the work of Amnesty that we still have a lot to do when it comes to human rights education.
So at Amnesty International Ghana, our current priority areas are: one, we have freedom of expression and civic space. So under that category, we're looking at protests in Ghana, protecting the protest. With priority area 2, we have equality and non-discrimination, which looks at ending sexual and gender-based violence. How do we better prison conditions? How do we reduce the overcrowding in prisons? And then we are also planning to digitalize our membership this year. This will help us increase our membership, but also strengthen membership engagement.
Amnesty International is a people's movement. Membership is open to everybody, irrespective of your status, your race, your educational background, whatever. We are more interested in having more of our members who are not even educated, so that we can equip them with human rights skills in the communities, in the villages, and where they work. If you look at Ghana, predominantly most of our members are teachers. We have lawyers, we have accountants, we have a lot of community groups. So it's not only for elites, it's for everybody who believes in the cause of human rights.
It is clear that Amnesty is a leading human rights organization in Ghana. And anytime you talk about human rights, they will tell you Amnesty. Now you will get young people at from the universities right down to the basic schools, talking about Amnesty International. And all is the work of Amnesty in the last 50 years. Again, we have worked so hard that today, as I speak, it will not be long, death penalty will be abolished in Ghana.
So I'm very happy with the strides we have made so far, and we are going to do more.
50 years later, Amnesty International Ghana continues to be one of the leading human rights organizations in Ghana, promoting and protecting human rights. And in this fight, your voice matters. You are a change maker. Your dedication could mean a better world for us all. It is better to light a candle than curse the darkness. Join us today.